Boom. What is good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy, Ferris Muthana, and welcome to a great, memorable episode of Good Friends, Better Rivals, because everyone, it is episode 100. Yes, we have gotten to 100 episodes. Did we ever think this was going to happen? I did.
No.
You
That's
didn't?
a lie.
That's a lie?
Some big lies.
Okay, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably didn't, but it has gone through a multitude of variations. You can't listen to our very first episode.
No, you can't,
because that's lost in the ether. We did that episode on the famous big thing called Stereo App, where we had that episode. It was
we had callers.
We had callers. And then we stopped doing that. And then we brought it back. And then it became just a full-on football show. We went live after Thursday Night Football. I remember every week. And then one day me and Caleb were like, let's just talk Giants Cowboys only. Because that's the only thing we really care about, right? Like, why are we
shit about everybody else?
Exactly. Who gives a shit? Like, why are we talking about Jacksonville versus Cleveland?
Yeah.
Like, why? We don't care. We don't care. So we then tailored it to the modern day version of it's in the title, guys. Good friends, better rivals. It literally, well, good friends is kind of a stretch. Well, because I can't stand him. All right, he can't stand me. Decent friends, fine friends, okay friends,
acquaintances, really.
Yeah, okay friends, but definitely better rivals. Definitely better rivals. We know how to poke each other. We know what buttons to press. Just piss off Caleb. Just say how Troy Aikman sucks. But it's all right. Your
old franchise sucks.
Look at his face. Look at his face. He got so mad. I just had to say Troy Aikman. You know what's funny? You're NFL Caleb 22. Shouldn't you be more mad when I say Emmitt Smith sucks?
I mean, of course, but that'd just be lying.
He's like the fourth best running back in NFL history, so it's fine.
And that's why he has the most yards.
Oh, who cares?
Oh, who cares? He just has the most yards.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna talk
touchdowns too.
So Dan Marino had all that too. Was Dan Marino the best quarterback in the NFL history?
He doesn't have any more. Does he have any more?
It's Drew Brees.
No, he doesn't.
It's Drew Brees.
Emmitt Smith still has his.
Yeah, because the game has changed, dude. They don't run the ball like they used to.
He still has it. Nobody touch it.
Because the game has changed.
Oh my God, the game has changed. Still nobody can
Caleb,
touch it.
Come on, man. Don't get your head out of your derriere, sir. Okay.
It's quite out of there. It's cold.
Yeah, it's not. All right. Yeah, the game has changed. The running back records will stay forever because they don't run the ball like they used to.
You can't touch them.
Because they don't run the ball like they used to. Oh my God! I'm not even gonna,
because nobody's that good. Nobody's as good. That's why.
All I'll say is this, man. Walter Payton's definitely better than him. Okay,
that's why he has less yards, right? That's why
he broke his record.
Okay, that's why he has less yards. So how can you better get less yards?
Let's look at this yardage shit. You keep fucking freaking.
Even if it's 1 yard less, he's still worse because he has less yards.
It's 2,000 yards. It's a difference between 2,000. You know what, man?
I don't care. I mean, you're fan of Fast and Furious. I don't care if you win by an inch or a mile.
Are you gonna use Fast and Furious on me? How dare you, sir? How dare you? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Don't you use me. Don't use me. Oh my God. You mother. Oh my God. Who the hell do you think you're? Man, I swear to God, I hate you sometimes. Let me do this math real quick. 16, 7, 26. It's 1,629 yards. Man, if we get rid of all them shitty years in Arizona.
2 categories he has the most in.
All right, let's check this. Rushing touchdowns.
He has the most in NFL history and the most important categories.
164. He has. Damn it. LaDainian Thompson is number 2?
Yeah, I mean, he broke like the single season record.
Yeah, it's true. 19. He owns it by 19.
And never be touched. Neither one of those.
Yeah, because they don't run the ball like they used to.
That's why, because nobody's good.
No, it's you know what? Now you're just lying. Okay,
I'm not lying. That's the truth.
Lying.
If you were as good, then you get more.
But the game plan's the game plan. They're changing it up. They're not running the ball like they used to.
If you were that good, you would be better than the game plan.
See, are you really arguing
that total in the running back category? Yes.
You know what?
I'm arguing that, and I will stand firm on that. In the running back category, absolutely.
Let's agree to
That's
disagree.
All you are. That's all you do. All you do is run. If you have more yards than another person who just does that, yes, that is what counts.
Hey man, hey, fun fact. You know who's like in the top 10? That I'm kind of like, what? You in the top 10? That's crazy.
Marshall. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's all you do as a running back, but that's your main purpose. That's your main purpose of what you do. You run the ball. And if you do it better than everybody else by having more yards, then you're the best.
You know what? Let's look at these quarterbacks. All-time yards. Let's debunk this. Fuck, it's Tom Brady. All right, let's not.
Exactly. Tom Brady has the most passing yards. He has the most touchdowns.
Yeah. Damn you, Tom Brady. Damn you, Tom Brady. Well, he also played till he was 45. So, come on. Let's be real here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still got there. You still accomplished it.
So, is Troy Aikman the 45th best
because quarterbacks are judged with different. I just told you. Running backs are judged differently based on what you do. You run the ball.
Quarterbacks, you got to pass the ball. You got to pass the ball.
Quarterbacks are based off of two different things. They're both based off of how much you win and your stats. Both combined. Your compliment.
Well, people say that the reason the Cowboys won all the time was because of that running back, not the quarterback.
They win. Quarterbacks win the game, Rodney. Quarterbacks win the game. That's what they do.
They win the game. So they also lose the game too.
Yes, they do lose the game. They lose a lot of games.
What if your running back fumbles? Is it your quarterback's fault?
Well, I mean, in that case, if it comes up with that single play, yes.
Yeah, okay. So the QBs don't lose the games. So
not every game.
I'm just saying, like,
most games.
But Caleb, so you're viewing winning over stats a little bit more. So you
I'm combining.
Is it 50-50?
They're both together when it comes to
So
quarterback.
is it 50-50? You base winning and
Dan
stats.
Marino is considered one of the best. He just didn't have the success.
So, it's being 45th.
He can never be considered the best because he doesn't have the wins. That's why they both play a part.
Statistically, you have Troy Aikman, 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
45th.
Exactly.
Stat.
So he's right there with Dan Marino because Dan Marino has the stats.
So you're saying Troy Aikman is the anti Dan Marino and Dan Marino is the anti Troy Aikman.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So one's a stats guy, one's a Super Bowl guy.
Exactly.
All right. So that means they're not the best.
They're not the best.
Okay.
Because they don't have both. Who has the both? Tom Brady does.
It's true. And Joe Montana.
Yeah, Joe Montana, all those type of guys that have the Super Bowls in the stats, that's why they're the best.
So Terry Bradshaw's better than Troy
Bradshaw doesn't have the stats.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. He's not in any top.
But Caleb, but then Caleb, let's talk about the time period. You weren't throwing the ball like that in the 70s.
Okay, and you weren't throwing like.
Are we adjusting to time?
Dan Marino did. He was playing the 80s, but that was still run first offense.
No, but he changed the game.
I know.
The Miami Dolphins were the only team doing that. They changed the game.
Because he didn't win, he's not the best.
Yes, so Terry Bradshaw has 5,000 fewer yards, but an extra Super
Bowl. And it's still less. You guys don't understand math that when you have less stats, you're lesser. Like, I don't understand how math is hard.
You know what? Nah,
you're less. You're less.
Hey man, I'm Arab. I invented algebra. Okay, I know math. Okay, all right. Yeah. Plus, that's right. 4 over 3. Well, that's a good point.
I know. Okay, and they're not. You have to have both. You combine both the stats.
But Terry has both. So one is. Yeah. So you're telling me having 5,000 less yards is outweighs not having an extra Super Bowl. I don't agree with that. Super Bowl outweighs the 5,000 yards less. You know, he has both.
That's your opinion, and then that's where it comes. It's based on your opinion.
Exactly, opinion. You're a Cowboys fan. You're skewed.
That's what my opinion is. I'm
exactly
what my opinion.
You know what? Yeah, it's fine. You know, it's fine to be wrong. You're wrong. All right. Now to our next topic. Speaking of people being wrong, the New York Giants are on Hard Knocks.
Well, we get to talk about the Giants. I mean, is that really what our shores have come to? Talking about the Giants?
Well, the Cowboys have done nothing. What have the Cowboys done this season? I mean, this offseason? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They've done nothing. Every year we expect them to do something, but this year they did nothing. They re-signed Ezekiel Elliott. You want to talk about Ezekiel Elliott again?
No.
Okay, exactly. Then shut the hell up. All right. The New York Giants are.
We can talk. We're about to talk Saquon Barkley. How y'all?
Let's talk about Saquon Barkley and how I'm confused on what the hell happened. I'm still confused.
Are you confused? I mean, it was pretty blatant. What happened? It was pretty blatant.
He literally, Joe Shane literally threw him underneath the bus. Joe Shane basically called him a liar. You know, like, because like when Saquon agreed to the. Okay, let's talk about Hard Knocks, guys. The first 2 episodes are surrounding it. So this version of
I like this version better than the recent seasons of Hard Knocks training camp.
Yeah, because this one, so the Giants, they finally agree. So okay, here's how this season of Hard Knocks happened. The New York Giants, it is their 100th year of existence. This New York Giants 100 is our 100th year. We're probably going to ruin it because, you know, we're the Giants, of course. So they wanted to commemorate the New York Giants. And the New York Giants, okay, all right. So Brian just trolling you a little bit. It's kind of funny.
I know.
But the New York Giants wanted to commemorate.
Concept of adding 2 things at once, but
hey man, shut up. We're talking about the Giants real quick. Shut up. The Cowboys don't matter right now. All right. So the New York Giants were like, we want to commemorate this season, and the biggest thing about the New York Giants is like they talked about how like their scouting and front office departments and how that was the way the Giants built. Because fun fact about the New York Giants don't exist. 2 of the greatest dynasties ever created don't exist. Let me tell you why. Because our offensive coordinator, we found some guy named Vince Lombardi. And then in our defensive coordinator, we found some random dude who wore a hat called Tom Landry. And everyone knows in history what happens with Vince and Tom. They go on to get head coaching jobs with the Packers and the Cowboys, who then help create 2 of the greatest dynasties in NFL history. Bill Belichick as well. You know, so the New York Giants are really entrenched in American football history. They're also one of the reasons we have revenue sharing in the NFL, because revenue sharing was brought up by George Halas.
Cowboys.
What?
Cowboys don't revenue share.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys got out of that. That's weird. How does that even happen? Like, how did you guys get out of it?
I didn't even say stats above all else. I said stats and accomplishments. You put them together. You connect them. You have to have both. I don't
love this fire. I love this fire, man. Give me the fire. Give me the fire. Give me the fire.
Put them together. That's how you're a great quarterback. That's how every quarterback is judged.
Give me all that fire, man.
Yeah, they had us the first half. I'm not going to lie.
All right. So they want to commemorate by kind of they want to do like an NFL films type thing, right? Where they're like going to talk about the front office and the scouting department. But then someone in the New York Giants department said we should really use the Hard Knocks brand of HBO to elevate it, because if this is just a NFL films thing, it's kind of skewed. But we're going to use Hard Knocks. Everyone knows that brand, Hard Knocks. You say Hard Knocks, everyone knows it. So it became a Hard Knocks off season. So this year, different from the actual Hard Knocks. Players kind of don't matter in this season because they don't. This is all about the front office. We're following GM Joe Shane, head coach Brian Daboll, assistant general manager Brandon Brown, and director of player personnel Chris Rosati. You know that we see John Mara as well. The last 2 episodes, I've quite enjoyed them. This last episode, episode 2, we were at the combine. This was a heavy scout episode. We know our scouts. We know who they are. They talk to them. This is all about the scouting combine. Episode 1 was kind of laying the foundation of what Joe Shane is and what he does for the job. And we followed episode 1. We followed him at the Senior Bowl. It also dropped a little nugget in episode 1 where he's friends with Dan Morgan. Him and Dan Morgan are tight. They go on vacation together. Dan Morgan became the new GM of the Carolina Panthers. And guess what happened this offseason? The Giants and the Panthers did business. blatantly calling out, "Hey Dan, you're Brian Burns. What do you want from him?" And Dan was like, "Ha ha ha ha, give me 2 first." And then it crescendoed into what we gave up for Brian Burns later on. And then I think that's going to be another story. How we're going to see how that came to fruition. But the main storyline between these 2 episodes is Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. In this episode 2, Joe Shane basically calls him a liar. Where he says, "I tried to give him a bunch of money last year, and he said no." Is Joe Shane lying for the camera? Is Joe Shane telling the truth for the camera? Depends on if you believe Joe Shane's a trustworthy GM. It happens. GMs lie all the time. That's what I'm saying. Like, you want me to believe a GM who lies all the time? That's the thing.
They lied to Saquon on the phone.
Yeah. No, on the phone, they told Saquon, "We're going to let you test the market."
I know, but the whole sugarcoating bullshit, that was such bogus.
Yeah, honestly,
the way he talked to him was like,
yeah,
we love you. You hopefully you come to us before you.
Yeah, I didn't like that. He should have just said,
that is such a lie. You just want him to go out there, find more money, just basically go away.
Exactly, man. Really I didn't like the phone call situation. It didn't make Joe look good. Saquon, it didn't do nothing to Saquon. It didn't make Joe look good because Joe could have just been, if Joe could have done this. "Hey, Saquon, we're gonna let you test market.
Yeah,
on your value and see if we can match and we'll see if we can match it. If you allow us to match it." That's all you got to say. And if it's too rich for us, we're gonna let you go. But if it's not, we're going to keep you. You could have just said that's it. A lot of NFL players tell stories how like, "Oh, we prefer GMs who just tell us the truth. Just tell us what's up. You're going to cut me because you don't think I'm good enough." Say that. "I don't think you're good enough. We're cutting you." No, the thing is the pay cut thing where like they ask you to take a pay cut because they know you're still good. They just don't want to give you the money. Right? They just don't want to give you the money. That's when you'd be like, no, I ain't taking no damn pay cut. You know what I mean? But just tell them, "Hey man, we don't want to pay you this money. All right, we're gonna cut you because we don't think you're worth the money." Again, just be straight up with these players. Just be straight up. Like, "Hey man," he could have been like, "Hey Saquon, we're gonna let you test market, see your value, and if we agree with your value, we'll come with the contract. Let me get your word that we can have a conversation when you're in market. But the thing is, then the conversation ends. So we don't know if he actually gave him his word or not. So and here's the thing too, like that's not a contract offer. That's not a contract offer. People be like, "He said you guys didn't offer, there was no contract offer." And people are like, "Oh, he's a liar. He was offered a contract." Where was the contract offer? They said you're going to test market. That's not a contract offer. That's not them saying, "Here's the contract." He literally said, you can go to market and see your value, and then I'll give you a contract. Is that a contract offer, Caleb? If I told you that, Caleb, would you be like, "Yeah, that's a contract offer"?
No, that's just giving you an option.
It's not. And then
it's really just giving you the option of just like kind of just go away and see what you can get.
Yeah, see what we can get. And if you get screwed over in the market, we'll come back and match the deal. But
and especially the way they handle this situation is really the reason why I think a lot of guys go to the rival teams, especially in this case when Saquon Barkley going to the Eagles. Mm-hmm. You totally see why he just wants to go out there so he can play them twice and get back at them and to really show them that he is worth that money that you did not pay me, that I think I deserve. Definitely when I think a lot of GMs act like Joe Shane did and get the whole, run around with their contracts. And that's the exact reason why they go to the rival team. And,
I'm starting to think Harry Roseman doesn't do that. Because why do you think Harry Roseman keeps getting everybody? I think he's a straight shooter where he's like, "Yeah, we're giving you this contract. Either you want it or you're not." Because apparently they always, like, Harry Roseman always gets the deal he wants. So he's doing something different. You know what I mean? So some a little different. And that's why, like I'm with you, man. Like Like what's the offer, bro? And then he starts talking about data and running backs over 27 and this and that, data this, data that. And I'm like, well, the funny thing about this is like he's talking about the running backs over 30, over 27 thing. In episode 1, he's talking to Frank Gore, who like played running back till he was like 41. So it's like, oh yeah, man. So after 30, these running backs ain't nothing.
Frank Gore is like,
and Frank goes like, what?
Yeah, that was funny.
Like you're talking to the one running back you cannot say that to. The one is like, my dog, after 30, I had 10,000 yards. I'm third all time in rushing. I don't know what you're talking about. Most of them were after 30. So what are you talking about? Then, you know, they signed Devin Singletary in the offseason, who is 27. But then with Devin Singletary, wear and tear. Yeah, it's the wear and tear, you know. Yeah. The wear and tear that's the different. He's 27. He really didn't run the ball in Buffalo. This was kind of his first year as a running back, you know. So we'll see if it works. I think it probably will. But I think the key is Tyrone Tracy Jr., in my opinion. He's the key, you know, because also, man, Eric Gray has not panned out whatsoever. That's bad on Joe Shane. And Joe Shane's kind of shifting out the David Gettleman and shifting in his. You know, they talked about Xavier McKinney, you know, and it makes it seem in the second episode, if they do get one of they talked about Christian Wilkins, the defensive tackle out of Miami. It was him or Brian Burns. It was kind of like this guy or that guy, which one? But if they chose which one, then they say we end up losing Xavier McKinney. So we choose one and we lose X.
Which is that whole thing is just the how he was so focused on the defense amazes me. That you don't focus on your biggest problem, which is your quarterback. Mm-hmm. He's coming off an ACL. He sucks, and you know he sucks. And yet you play off it like, yes, his offensive line is bad. We all know his offensive line. He didn't have a chance. He doesn't have any weapons. We get that. He's still not good. And you know he's not good. So I don't understand this fooling himself of, oh, yeah, if Patrick Mahomes was over here, they wouldn't have won. Yeah, that's probably true. But that's not the point. The point is, if Daniel Jones was on the Chiefs, would he have won? No, he would not have. He wouldn't have won a Super Bowl with that team. That's the point you have to take into account. That's the real conversation you should be having. Would Daniel Jones win over there? No, he would not, because he's not good.
Well, he's fine.
He's not good.
He's okay.
That's why it's so focused on the defense. Again, guys, we can use this whole, this more cap so we can bring in defensive guys. Why? How much you bring in a better quarterback?
No, yeah. So like he's having this conversation with his assistant GM, Brandon Brown, and I think Chris Rosati's there, and you just see Rosati and Brown just like unconvinced, like, bro, he's not the guy. He's not the guy. It's just not happening. You know what I mean? And then in episode 2, they go to the combine, and the biggest key is the quarterbacks. They're always talking to the quarterbacks. They brought in Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May were the quarterbacks they brought in, and then they focused on them for a solid couple minutes. You know, Brian Daboll put them through the gauntlet of the board work. People were talking about how Jaden Daniels had bad board work, but like he wrote up his favorite play, then Brian Daboll changed it to his play. So you expect him to know Brian Daboll's play and his terminology? No, not yet. I don't believe that. So people have been saying how Jaden Daniels failed his interview, which I don't think he did, in my opinion. If you actually watch it, he writes out his play, he finds it, and then Joe Shane tells him, like, erase all that and do this. So so like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Loves Drake May, loves him. You could definitely see in the conversation he has with the interviews. But the key is, the bigger conversation they had was wide receiver and how they loved. I don't think they knew they could get Marvin, So they kind of stopped talking about Marvin. They just interviewed Marvin because in their top 6, you know, you don't know what happens in the top 6. Marvin could possibly fall. But the conversation was about Rome and Malik. Rome, Joe Shane guy. Rome, Joe Shane loved Rome Odunze. But Brian Daboll, Brandon Brown, Malik Neighbors guys. They loved his fire, his grit, his determination. And there's a conversation with Brandon Brown, I think either with Brian Daboll or Joe Shane, one of them, where he says the best players at that position are not choir boys. They're not. You know, they're not. So, and that's why Brandon Brown prefers Malik of that. They asked Malik, you know, what do you think about losing? He's like, I don't like losing. I hate losing more than I like winning. I don't like losing. And then in the interview, they asked him, like, hey man, how do you feel about not being like, you know, you're not going to be involved in the game early on during the game? Like, how would you feel? And he straight up said, that'll piss me off. I would be mad because, you know, we're doing all the game planning through the week. And then early on, you're not going to feature me. That would make me a little bit angry. And Brian Daboll's like, I like this guy. I like this guy. And I think that's when Brian Daboll was like, that's my wide receiver right there. Because you want players who don't like losing, right? You want players who want to play, who want to be successful within your team, correct? Wide receivers, name a wide receiver. Every wide receiver is a little crazy. Even the so-called nice ones. You know, they just don't outrightly say, throw me the goddamn ball. You know what I mean? I always go to this famous story about Larry Fitzgerald, Caleb, where he's wide open. And I think John Skelton or Ryan Lindley misses him. And he doesn't go up to John Skelton or Ryan Lindley and says, hey, man, throw me the ball.
Horrible. John Skelton and Ryan Lindley.
Yeah. He doesn't go up to them and say, give me the ball. Throw me the ball. He says to John, hey, John, what were you looking at on that play? What were you seeing? And that was basically him telling John, throw me the goddamn ball. Throw me the ball. And guess what John Skelton did the very next play? He threw Larry Fitzgerald the ball. You know, but you know, if it was, you know, let's say Randy Moss, you know, or Michael Irvin, he would have been like, hey, throw me the ball. But Larry didn't say that. He said it in Larry Fitzgerald's way. Playing receiver, you got to be a little crazy. I'm watching, you know, shout out to the Netflix special Receiver. You know, receivers are wackos. They're genuinely wackos because they catch a ball. They don't know what's going to happen. They catch it, they get hit. They turn, they get hit. You got to play receiver. You got to be a little, you know, that position and defensive line.
I mean, they don't get hit as hard as they do.
Not anymore. Not anymore. But you know, you still gotta be a little crazy. They're a little crazy, man. Wide receivers are a little crazy. Caleb, man, what about you, man? What were your thoughts?
On Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I like I said, I like this version a little bit more than what we've been getting from the training camp ones. Just because I like seeing the building of the team aspects. I always like that part. I always like when I played Madden. I love just as much as building my team, being the whole general manager of your franchise on franchise mode. As much as I like, you know, playing the games. So that seeing that inside look, I found really interesting, especially interesting how they just talk about the different scenarios and what they're going to do and how they talk about different players. They basically talk about it like we talk about him. It's like when the guy's saying, "Oh, Saquon's not going to get that much on the market. He's not worth that much money." He's just like that's how we talk, you know.
Yeah, Rosati said, "Who's going to claim that?"
We're having the same conversations they are within the building. Like, yeah, he's not going to get that on the market. You know, just very, you know, blatantly telling talking to each other like that. You know, it's you know, cool to see.
Yeah, Chris Rosati is definitely being the star of the show, where he basically said, like, who's going to pay him that much money? The Eagles did. But you know, it's the Eagles. You know, it's the Eagles. They find a way to pay them and stuff like that. So I think the Eagles are doing something wild. You know, Ryan says the AFC East is better than the NFC East. Go Bills, go. Whatever, man. Hey, man, fun fact, we're the only division, Caleb. I think the only division that we have all 4 of our teams with multiple Super Bowls. Shout out to my boy Max. Shout out to my boy. That's my boy Max.
No, not all 4. The Eagles have 1.
Oh yeah. We're the only division that have all 4 of us have Super Bowls.
Yes.
Every division has at least that one team that doesn't have a Super Bowl. We're the only division that everyone has a Super Bowl. And it kind of like decreases as you go down. So it goes 5, 4, 3, 1.
Well, we're like the oldest division as well.
We are the old division. Yeah, that's true. We are the old division. That's right. But still, it is, great. Now you lost out. Man, shut up, man. You Niners fan. Get out of here. Niners fans, man. Annoying. But yeah, man, it's been pretty good. I like it. It's only been 2 episodes where I think, we're gonna start, I think next episode they're gonna be talking about Brian and Saquon's deals. So we're gonna see about that, and then we're gonna get to the draft. We all know about the draft. But yeah, man, it's been good. I brought up the TV show Receiver. Caleb, you watched Receiver?
I haven't even watched it yet.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. George Kittle is everything I expected him to be. He's a psychopath. No. What? You guys just, you guys hate him. I like George Kittle. He's a good.
George Kittle. Where the F Dallas can go F himself.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know what? It's common. Fine. I understand why you don't like him. I love George Kittle. Everything I expect from George Kittle happened, and I love George Kittle. I think personally, for the past couple of years, I think I'm the only one. I'm the only crazy person. The only Niners fan that's been saying George Kittle is the best tight end in the NFL. Period. He's the best all-around tight end. I'll say with my whole ass chest, he's the best tight end in the NFL. Yeah, I know we talk about Travis Kelce and the receiving numbers, which is fine. But if the Niners use George Kittle the way, Kansas City uses Travis Kelce, who is the number 1 option, George Kittle will have the same numbers. Period. Like it's period. That's
right. The best quarterbacks either.
Yeah. So and George Kittle is he is a tight end. He's the perfect tight end. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's 210 yards, or the next game it's only 20 yards because he's blocking. Travis Kelce has never been asked to block in Kansas City. He can block, but they never really ask him to block. He's always playing the receivers section of tight end. And I think George Kittle is honestly a better tight end than him. Yes, that is a fact. I think that's a fact in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Well, that's just me. I mean, Travis Kelce's getting up there in age.
No, but I'm saying this for like the past 3 or 4 years, like with Max. Like I'm saying, when George Kittle broke the single season receiving record, when they made him the option, he was the number 1 option that year for the Niners. Travis Kelce ends up breaking it later on because let's be real, man. People talk about does Patrick Mahomes have a number 1 wide receiver? Yes, he does. It's 87. 87 is their number 1 wide receiver. He just plays tight end. People be like, oh man, his receivers are not very good. Yeah, because it happens, but he doesn't need his receivers. He has 87. You know what I mean? Green Bay. Oh, who's Aaron Rodgers? It was 17. It was Devontae Adams. Every great receiver, every great quarterback has that one receiver. Peyton Manning had a bunch, and he still only has 2 Super Bowls. When he was in Indianapolis, he had Marvin and Reggie. And at one point, it was Reggie, Dallas, Clark. You know what I mean? So you need a solid target in the passing game. Derek says Shanahan does make everyone block. That is true. He forces everyone to block. It's a running team. The Niners are a running team. But if Shanahan wants to be like, you know what, I'm going to make George Kittle my Travis Kelce, George Kittle can give you that. He can give you that. But, they also they didn't show me a lot of Debo. They focused on Travis more often in Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a little crazy. He's still talking about the receivers drafted above him to this day. Apparently, he has them written down in his locker.
Yeah.
That's the type of delusion I want my wide receiver to have. That's what I want. I want my receiver to act like him. Because you know what? Good. Good. Think you're the best. And honestly, when he named those receivers that were drafted above him, after the first 2 to 3, I was like, yeah, he should not have been 17th. That's crazy. Yeah. So there's that. And then okay, here's episode 2. They focus on Jets. No. They focus on Jets from Minnesota, Justin Jefferson and Devontae Adams of the Las Vegas Raiders. But best part, I haven't finished the episode. Best part of the episode so far, Caleb, is Devontae Adams, his daughter is having a dinosaur birthday party. And his wife invites, she's a kid, so she invites her entire class to the birthday party. And everyone rolls up to the birthday party, and half the parents don't know who he is. And half the parents know who he is. So the entire episode is just him like, how you doing? Devontae. How you doing? Devontae. Oh, Devontae. Oh, how you doing? Devontae. Oh, you're in my daughter's class? My name is Devontae. And it's like hilarious because it's like, and then they cut to his wife and this girl. She's like, oh my God, I really love your house. This is amazing. It's like, yeah, it happens when your husband's a multi-millionaire football player. Like, she did not know, man. She was like,
in Vegas?
Yeah, in Vegas. Yeah, it was in Vegas. So like, so it was hilarious. And I was like, yeah, this is funny. And then Jets, man. I like Jets. I've always liked Jets. Jets is amazing. He eats too much candy. A lot. He has so much candy. But yeah. But I like him. I like Jets. I'm a big fan of Jets. You should watch Receiver Kill.
Well, this came out today then, or yesterday?
No, a couple days ago. Okay. I started watching it last night. But now, Caleb, last 20 minutes of the show. Let's reflect. It's been 100 episodes. We've been on a long journey, multiple iterations of the show. I want to know your feelings about your journey joining the show and where you are now and how you've changed or not changed.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I would ever be on a YouTube show at all, or on YouTube, or talking. I mean, obviously, everybody knows I don't talk very much.
Not at all.
At all. Yes, at all. Obviously, I was always scared to public speak. Even just growing up in school, never do that. Never I would never talk in class at all. I'd hate that. I'd hate it. But yeah, so I never thought I'd be doing this for 100 episodes of it. Especially now, I always kind of thought about it. I always thought maybe, I wish I would break out of my fear of talking. Because I always, obviously I watch much different YouTubers and got people who talk about sports and things like that. And I always think, I wish I can, go and do that, And finally, you were, I got to give credit to you. You're the one that said, hey, let's do a show on stereo, which actually, did really help a lot because it wasn't on camera. It was just us two talking, over the app, like, our podcast for originally. So I guess that helped a lot. And then, obviously I did more and more stuff and got comfortable with it. Obviously, for, I guess the original iterations was, just the highlights. It was, us doing the highlight show, which turned into Good Friends, Better Rivals. But yeah, I didn't think it would last this long because didn't think I would ever do it in the first place. So I think I, just been more comfortable. I think that's been big. Obviously, I'm, still maybe silent sometimes, or maybe don't know when to jump in all the time. But as far as just being comfortable, on camera and talking, period, I think that's changed a lot.
That's good, man. That's good. Now you have 2 shows. You're on 2 shows, man. You're actually leading your other show, Betting the NFL. Coming back next week, correct?
Yeah, with D Weezy in the chat.
Yeah. All right, man. That's yeah. For me, man, it was I always had a concept in my mind about doing a show with a rival from because it's just natural, and it's gonna be a natural argument all the time, right? Originally, I thought I would do it as an Eagles fan because it would be more heated. Because in the concept of NFC East rivalries, Eagles Giants hate each other more than Giants Cowboys. Like, we hate each other, but Eagles Giants hate each other more. The Eagles hate the Cowboys more than the Cowboys hate the Eagles, in a sense, I think. And then
it just depends. I mean,
honestly, it's kind of like a 3-way triangle of hatred.
It's changed over the years. I think obviously the Giants Eagles were before the Cowboys and Washington, because they existed before the Cowboys existed. So obviously you can go with history, but I think for the majority of the NFC East, the biggest rivalry was the Cowboys versus Washington. That was the biggest rival. That was the rivalry in the NFL, like more than anybody.
In the 80s?
No, in the whole history, from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, it was Washington, Dallas. That was the rivalry. And then it fell off when Dan Snyder took over the Washington Commanders. You don't remember because that's something you don't remember because you're obviously not born, so you can't.
Yeah, you act like you were born. Get out of here. You're born in 94.
No, I still know the history better than you do.
I know history. I was thinking, man. Because
it was because Washington was more popular than the Cowboys.
Yeah, they were. Definitely were. They were definitely were. In the 70s and the 80s, absolutely. They were 100% more popular than you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. The Cowboys were still, one of the most popular teams because we were America's team.
Allegedly.
No, I mean, they were.
No, they are America's team. They're mediocre.
That's why it was the 2 most popular teams facing each other as rivals. That was the biggest rivalry.
No. Yeah, because they were people forget. Washington was great in the 70s, but the problem is they never won a Super Bowl in the 70s because their head coach prioritized an older team. He didn't like youngsters. He would trade all his rookies, and he would get like older players, and they would always like fall short in like the NFC Championship game or the divisional round because the older players lost their gas. Yeah, and then
undefeated Dolphins.
Huh? Yeah. They lost to the Dolphins, I think. And then they found this dude out of San Diego named Joe Gibbs, and Joe Gibbs changed the game because here's the thing about Joe Gibbs. He created positions to stop this opposition. The H-back, the position that everyone refers to as the H-back, was created by Joe Gibbs to stop one man, LT. He was like, I face LT twice a year. I need to slow him down. How? Let me bring another tight end in, call him an H-back, double him with my tackle, and it slows him down. It didn't full out stop him, but it slowed him down because in the 80s, Caleb, outside the San Francisco 49ers, who had the most Super Bowls?
It was
the Washington Commanders, Redskins football team, you name it. Wherever, they did. It's 4-3. 4-3. So that's a fun fact. What actually scratch that? 4-2. Sorry, 4-2. They won their third in the 90s when they beat Buffalo. 4-2. Because the Giants have 1 in the 80s. Commanders have 2. Niners had 4. So that's 4, 6, 7. I don't know who had the other 3. I don't know.
The Steelers had 4.
Yeah, but they did in the 70s.
Yeah, but up to that point they were.
No, I'm talking about in the 80s. How was the Super Bowls divided? It was 4 to the Niners, 2 to the Commanders. That's 6, and one to the Giants, that's 7. Oh,
Raiders.
Chicago has one that's 8. I think the Raiders have 2.
They had 3 in the 80s. Oh no, they had 2 in the 80s.
Yeah, because they had 1 in the 70s with John Madden. That's true. Yeah, so it's Niners, Commanders, Raiders, Giants, Bears. Also, the Raiders have also 2. So shout out to the Raiders. Marcus Allen, Jim Plunkett, the most hated man in Boston, also the most beloved person in Raiders history. If you know what Jim Plunkett is, Jim Plunkett was a bust for the New England Patriots. Drafted him first overall out of Stanford, and he did nothing for them. And then he was traded to the Los Angeles Raiders, and he was 2-time Super Bowl champion, Jim Plunkett, and one of the greatest Latino football players of all time, by the way, Jim Plunkett, only behind Anthony Munoz.
That's true.
That's true. Shout out to Anthony Munoz. But yeah, man.
Tony Gonzalez is,
who?
Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, that's true. But yeah. You can, because Tony at one point was the greatest tight end of all time, but Anthony Munoz was probably never the greatest left tackle, but he was one of the great left tackles. But he wasn't the greatest left tackle. But he was a great left tackle. He's a Hall of Fame left tackle, but not the greatest, But I never said Gale Sayers. The fuck is he talking about?
I don't know.
The hell are you talking about? I never said Gale Sayers, you imbecile. Fucking moron. He's an idiot. All right. Sorry. Pardon my French. That just kind of annoyed the shit out of me real quick. But yeah, man, it was it's been a great journey. I knew I needed thank goodness, you showed up, because I had an idea, but I never had friends who are like opposing, He was a running back, you moron. Running back, stupid. I said H-back, which is the hybrid tight end fullback. You fucking idiot. That's how I noticed. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. The H-back didn't exist because it was called the running back position. It was running back, fullback. H-back is the hybrid fullback tight end that they used to stop. They used to stop Lawrence Taylor, because back in the 60s, everyone had a defined position. Tight end, lineman, receiver, fullback, running back. Everyone had a defined position. They ran 21 personnel all the time. 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a fullback, and a halfback. Well, Football Reference can go stick it up there at derriere, man. I literally watched Joe Gibbs tell us he invented that position because of Lawrence Taylor. He literally said, I invented it because I had to stop Lawrence Taylor. Literally said that if he literally said that, bro. You know what, man? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this, man. You can take your bum scoop and scoop your goddamn face out. You know what I mean? Because I'm right. No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm right. All right. It's been a great journey. Thank goodness, that one fateful day in Zoom, Well, yeah, no shit in the wing T. There was 4 running backs on the field during wing T. You idiot. It was the 2 wingers and the fullback in the middle. Everyone knows this. Every high schooler knows this. Oh my God. Back to my point. That fateful day in Zoom where you showed up and everyone knew that's NFL Caleb 22. And I said, you know what, man? You're the guy that did 99 cents. Good for you, man. By the way, didn't mean it as an insult, by the way.
You didn't mean it as an insult. You said you're the cheapskate.
No, I didn't say
yeah, you said the cheap. But you said that in your mind, though. You said that
I didn't. I didn't say that.
You did.
No, you're the smart person.
No.
You were smart.
No, you're said smart. I put down $100 donations when I put in.
That is not true. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Anymore. See, you were trying to big time me. You said, look at the donations that I put in. When I get people donation, I put the $100. You want 99 cents.
Oh my God, Derek, that's not. Oh my God, the tight end hybrid. He was the guy who said, let's put another tight end there and create the hybrid football. You know what? I'm done having this conversation with this man. It's an offensive wrinkle. It's like Don Coryell saying you should catch the ball out of the backfield, running back. The wrinkle. Yeah, man, it's been a great day. It's been a great journey. I love football, even though sometimes football doesn't love me. Well, actually, most of the time.
Continue the story off.
What was the story?
You were talking about how we met.
Oh yeah, so we met in Zoom once. Invited him to the Discord. Chat to Dom Caleb, very supportive person, of all of other content. We just started talking.
You don't respect my 99 cents that I used to send into LGR.
You didn't. You never sent.
I sent plenty of donations to LGR.
It was definitely to a woman named Roxy, not LGR.
No, to LGR. To LGR.
I don't remember this.
What do you mean? Of course you don't remember it because you don't even care about my 99 cents.
Shout out to you, man. If you did, I appreciate you, man.
I did. Thank you. Multiple times.
That's good. Thank you. That's wonderful. Well, I appreciate you.
Supported, by the way.
Yeah, you are. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah. You're a great man.
You don't support your own show.
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. You shut up. You know what? Shut up. Okay. I see that. This is what I got to deal with. The bullshit. I got to deal with this shit with another 100 episodes. I got to deal with this shit.
I'll probably cancel by then.
Yeah, because you're fucking stupid. Dumbass. You don't listen to me. I try to help you and you don't listen to me. All right, but the point is, here's to 100 episodes and here's 100 more. Thank you guys so much for the journey. We appreciate everyone, supporting us. It wasn't really a big, we're not trying to make a big fuss. We're me and Caleb, we're grinders. Me and Caleb, we grind. We do the work. So, we know it's 100 episodes and we want to acknowledge it. We wanted to, shout out to everyone for all the support. Shout out to all our guests over the years. Derek, Dweezy in the chat, LBH. Yeah, that guy. The guy I called moron. LBHT, Rodney, Jose, we got the Rogue Pod and Hendo, very supportive people. Shout out to OTR Mike, very supportive. And his, and I also want to shout out Suge Knight 323. You know what I mean? I'm gonna shout him out, man, because we are on the Highlights YouTube channel. This channel was birthed out of the show, The Highlights, where it was created by me and Suge. I'm not gonna sit here and he did a lot of work, and now I'm doing a lot of work for the channel, and I appreciate him. He's I believe in acknowledging history, and shout out to him. Thank you so much. It all started with you. It all started with you, and it's evolved. So shout out to him. Hope he's having a great day. Hope he isn't mad at work this time around. He usually is mad when he's at work, so we'll see. So shout out to him. But yeah, man, thank you guys so much for the support. Definitely Adelia, Ryan, love you guys. For all your guys' support. Snark, Detroit Lion. He would probably love receiver. Find that his wide receiver is a little bit of a crazy person, which you want that in your number one target. But overall, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We thank you for all your support. Pretty much I ain't got nothing else, Caleb. Anything else, man?
No, thank everybody for tuning in for 100 episodes. I mean, that's amazing. We're grateful for it and very much appreciate y'all.
Yeah. We're at 139 subscribers. We're 11 away from 150. So, share the link, share the channel. We don't just do American football on the channel, right? If you like world football, we do that as well. Me and Adelia are gonna go live. We're gonna do soccer. We're gonna go live after the Euros and Copa America final on Sunday. So make sure to pop up there. We do the occasional tennis. We talk about that. And then betting the NFL is coming back next week. You want to make some money, dollar bills, y'all. So let's make some money. And then yeah, that's it, man. Hockey, man. We got hockey. Yeah, man. We got to use our Canadians for a reason. So our Canadians, Rob, Snark, and Ryan, are now co-hosting Playoff Beards. The playoffs just ended. The Florida Panthers became world champions. Now we're talking off-season hockey. So make sure to tune in for that as well. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace out, everyone.